Paul the Apostle, originally known as Saul of Tarsus, was an apostle who taught the gospel of Christ to the first-century world. He is generally considered one of the most important figures of the apostolic age. In the mid-30s to the mid-50s, he founded several churches in Asia Minor and Europe. Paul took advantage of his status as both a Jew and a Roman citizen to minister to both Jewish and Roman audiences. According to writings in the New Testament, Paul, who was originally called Saul, was dedicated to the persecution of the early disciples of Jesus in the area of Jerusalem. In the narrative of the Book of Acts, while Paul was traveling on the road from Jerusalem to Damascus on a mission to bring them which were there bound unto Jerusalem, the resurrected Jesus appeared to him in a great light. He was struck blind, but after 3 days his sight was restored by Ananias of Damascus. And Paul began to preach that Jesus of Nazareth is the Jewish Messiah and the Son of God. Approximately half of the Book of Acts deals with Paul's life and works. 14 of the 27 books in the New Testament have traditionally been attributed to Paul. 7 of the epistles are undisputed by scholars as being authentic, with varying degrees of argument about the remainder. Pauline authorship of the Epistle to the Hebrews, already doubted in the 2nd and 3rd centuries but almost unquestioningly accepted from the 5th to the 16th centuries, is now almost universally rejected by scholars. The other 6 are believed by some scholars to have come from followers writing in his name, using material from Paul's surviving letters and letters written by him that no longer survive. Other scholars argue that the idea of a pseudonymous author for the disputed epistles raises many problems. Today, Paul's epistles continue to be vital roots of the theology, worship, and pastoral life in the Catholic and Protestant traditions of the West, and the Orthodox traditions of the East, among that of many other apostles and missionaries involved in the spread of the Christian faith. Paul's influence on Christian thought and practice has been characterized as being as profound as it is pervasive. Augustine of Hippo developed Paul's idea that salvation is based on faith and not works of the law. Martin Luther's interpretation of Paul's writings influenced Luther's doctrine of sola fide. Names. Although it has been popularly assumed that his name was changed when he converted from Judaism to Christianity, that is not the case. His Jewish name was Saul, perhaps after the biblical King Saul, a fellow Benjamite and the first king of Israel. According to the Book of Acts, he inherited Roman citizenship from his father. As a Roman citizen, he also bore the Latin name of Paul, in Biblical Greek, Pi Alpha Lambda Omicron Sigma, and in Latin, Paulus. Acts chapter 16 verse 37, 22-25-28. It was quite usual for the Jews of that time to have 2 names, one Hebrew, the other Latin or Greek. In the Book of Acts, when he had the vision which led to his conversion on the road to Damascus, Jesus called him Saul, Saul, in the Hebrew tongue. Later, in a vision to Ananias of Damascus, the Lord referred to him as Saul of Tarsus. When Ananias came to restore his sight, he called him Brother Saul. In Acts chapter 13 verse 9, Saul is called Paul for the first time on the island of Cyprus, much later than the time of his conversion. The author indicates the names were interchangeable. Saul, who also is called Paul, he thereafter refers to him as Paul, apparently Paul's preference since he is called Paul in all other Bible books where he is mentioned, including those he authored. Adopting his Roman name was typical of Paul's missionary style. His method was to put people at their ease and to approach them with his message in a language and style to which they could relate as in 1 Cor. 9:19-23.